M, F, K. Marry, kiss, or miss.
There are those who say, for Jean-Luc Picard, there is but one woman. That one woman, they say, is Beverly Crusher.
Right.
I say those people are wrong, but let's assume that that's happened.
Okay.
Picard and Beverly Crusher are living happily ever after.
Okay.
There are 3 other Picard love interests with whom we can play the game that is sweeping the Alpha Quadrant. Marry, kiss, or miss.
Right.
I give you
Okay.
Vash,
Vash.
Nella Daren,
Nella Daren.
Anij.
Okay.
For those who don't remember,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Vash is the one who ran off with Q. Vash is the one that he met on Risa.
Right.
And who turned out to be a bit of a scam artist. Mm-hmm. She's like the amazing Okona 2.0.
Yeah.
But better.
I think you'll find that Okona was actually outrageous. But
outrageous, really?
Yeah,
whatever. He was neither, honestly. He was Billy Campbell, and that was the best thing about him. Otherwise, anyway, okay, so that's her.
Right.
Nella Daren was the one who was the musician, who I think also worked in stellar cartography.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Anij was the woman from Insurrection.
Oh, right, from Insurrection.
Yeah, the really old young woman from Insurrection who taught Picard to really appreciate the moment, to really slow down and just be in the moment. Played by Donna Murphy.
I was going to say played by Donna Murphy, who I adore.
Yeah,
from various things such as Center Stage, which is my favorite movie of all time.
You know what I really liked her in?
What?
Star Trek Insurrection.
Right. She was also Mother Gothel in Tangled.
Well, sure.
She was terrible in that.
Well, she was also
she was really good, but she was a terrible character.
Yeah, you wouldn't recognize her from that, though. She's changed a lot.
Yeah.
In that.
She no longer is animated.
Yeah, well, she's fairly animated. I mean, you know. Oh, you mean, yeah. All right. I will say really quickly, unlike other lists, there is very much a wrong answer for this one.
I know. That's why I'm nervous. I'm really worried I'm going to do it wrong.
No, it's fine. There's no wrong answer.
I would definitely kiss Vash.
Okay.
Because she's exciting and first of all, she's been around a lot of places. Also, she's Q now. Or she's not she's not Q. She's hanging out with Q.
Right.
Or, yeah.
I can't remember.
Needless to say, she's been around the block a few times.
Yep.
I'm going to assume that she's picked up some techniques from various places. So I'm going to definitely kiss Vash. She's just exciting and she's just cute and definitely.
All right.
So now I have to marry one of the other people.
Yeah.
Okay. Full disclosure, I don't remember much about either of these women.
Really?
Yeah. It's sort of a shadow of a memory.
Okay.
Really.
All right.
I think probably I will miss Anij.
Okay.
I'm a little concerned of this whole like eternal youth. Is it eternal youth? I can't remember.
Well, I mean, as long as they stay on that planet.
Yeah, I feel like that would be like really restrictive for a relationship.
But you'd be there as well. I mean,
I don't want to live forever.
What?
No, I don't want to live forever.
Okay, but what if you're on a planet where you stay young forever?
Yeah, but even it still wouldn't work.
What?
So here's the problem. Okay, I'm going to take a slight tangent from talking about relationships to talking about the concept of living forever.
Okay.
Say we were here on Earth or just any planet that orbits a solar body, right?
Right.
Eventually,
you mean like some sort of star? Sorry, a solar body. Go ahead.
Yes,
All
the
right.
star.
All right.
All stars will eventually die.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna, so give just in your brain.
Yeah.
Imagine immortality.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, even think about humans right now. We have existed for so much less time than even the dinosaurs did.
Right.
You would watch the end of all human life to the point where the sun started expanding and the entire Earth just baked to a crisp and eventually would supernova and explode everything. And then there'd just be you. perpetually suffocating to death forever in outer space, probably being propelled towards the edge of the galaxy. I really don't want to do that.
Okay.
And even on the planet where it's sort of fountain of youth, you just don't.
Well, this isn't like Jack Harkness, though. I mean, it is a planet that is a fountain of youth. Let's say you're there for 700 years, and you're like, eh.
They don't really seem to be doing much with it, though, either. This is if I knew that I could live for like 700 years. I mean, imagine the crafting.
Right.
You know,
well, you could
which
do
would
that
be cool. Which
if
would
you
be
want
cool.
to. Right.
But it's still a finite amount of time, and also you can't leave the planet.
Well, no, that's what I was going to say, though. You can leave the planet. If it gets to be like 700 years and you're like, yeah, I think I'm kind of done, then go off planet. And at that point, from 35, 40 years old, it seems like that's about the age that they were sort of stopping.
Right.
Then you're like a 40-year-old living on, Deep Space Nine going, I love how dank and terrible things are here. And I can't wait to age out of this now.
That's a perspective I hadn't considered, because if you spend enough time being kind of immortal.
Right.
It's not
really immortal, though. It's just like while you're there.
Yes. So not immortal, but.
Right. Again, I'll go back to Jack Harkness.
Forever youth.
If you shoot Jack Harkness, he's just going to get up.
Yeah.
If you shoot Anij, she's going to not get up anymore. Like, as long as things go well.
She's going to look really, really good at her funeral, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, it depends on where you shoot her, I suppose. But.
Okay, so I have to reconsider this, because you brought a perspective that I hadn't considered, which was the fact that you could, if you get bored of it, you could always kind of.
Yeah. You leave. And here's the other thing. You can leave the planet. You can go someplace else, be there for 20 or 30 years, and then come back.
It's true.
And get young again.
That's true, because if you remember Troy and Crusher talking about the changes, the reverse changes in their bodies when they were on the planet for a while.
Well, and the same thing happened to Picard as well.
That's right.
He was all of a sudden he was dancing.
The mambo.
Yeah,
episode.
right. That's when he came back to her and said,
"That's right.
How old are you?" Yes.
Right.
Which is really not a good thing to ask on any kind of date.
Yeah, it would not normally recommend doing that.
Yeah. I mean, well, I shouldn't say not on any kind of date. If you get like to the third or fourth date and you're thinking we could do this forever,
right? You
might want to find out.
Oh, see, this puts me in a little bit of a bind now.
All right.
Okay, so because in Anij, you've got this kind of like fountain of youth thing going on. It's actually a really nice planet. Mm-hmm. You've seen it.
Yeah.
It's sunny.
Well, not personally, but yes.
Looks kind of like California.
A bit.
Which is, and the whole dynamic of the fountain of youth is kind of exciting.
Yeah.
And then you got Nella Daren, who I'm sure is a fine lady. She's good at music. Mm-hmm. She's got an ear for acoustics. Mm-hmm. Stellar cartographer. She's smart.
Yep.
She's decidedly normal.
Okay.
So this puts me in a bind, because I am inclined to marry Anij.
Okay.
Because there's excitement there.
Okay.
But then I feel really bad for rejecting Nella Daren.
Yeah.
And hold on, you say, can't you just miss Vash instead and choose to kiss Nella Daren? And I'm like, well, except we're going back to the whole, she's quite normal. Mm-hmm. Vash is quite a bit more exciting. Mm-hmm. If you put them two up in a lineup, Vash is the one who's done the dirty deed, right? So I would have to keep Vash as a kisser.
All right.
So I'm gonna give Nella Daren a really big hug and send her on her way.
I see. I will say though, Nella Daren does hang out with musicians,
flautists.
Well, is it Aqualung?
Piccolo players
or something. There's going to be a flute someplace in rock and roll.
Technically speaking, it's a penny whistle, I believe.
So tell me again.
Like
well, no, that's the Resican flute from the Inner Light. That's not what she was playing.
No, she was playing. Wasn't she playing the piano thingy?
Yeah, she was playing one of those magical rollout pianos that they have on Star Trek.
Yeah.
You don't hear a lot about that technology being worked on, do you? You're like, oh, I hope we get a transporter. I hope we get like a warp drive or something like that. Wouldn't it be? We've brought the best Star Trek technology. Look, it's a flat piano.
It's like a roll. You could stick it in your bag.
Right.
It's smaller than a yoga mat.
Right. Well, NASA, I mean, you've done fine here. Yeah. We were really kind of hoping for something else. Yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
so give me your final answer if you would.
So final answer, I would marry Anij.
Okay.
I would kiss Vash, and I would miss Nella Daren.
Okay.
I have a feeling that I've done this wrong. I have a feeling that I have not picked the right people.
No, well, I will tell you honestly, I am going to. I want to pull a bit of like a Kirk, like Kobayashi Maru thing
Okay,
here. So it's MKM, right?
Well, it's MFK, but sure.
Sure. All right. I'm gonna. So here's how it goes. I'm gonna marry
Yes.
Nella Daren.
Okay.
I'm gonna kiss
Yes.
Vash,
Okay.
and I'm gonna marry Anij. See, I've reprogrammed it. Is what I've done. Because I know you can't actually do that. I don't know how to choose between Nella Daren and Anij. That's the problem. I'll miss Vash. And I know what you're saying. Everything you're saying is absolutely right. But Vash, I think, is just in it for herself. If I have something that Vash needs, then we're going to have a great night.
Yeah.
If I do not have anything that Vash needs, that's going to be perfunctory on her part, I believe. All right. So she's out. I think of Vash as a selfish character who is really not going to be she's just going to be there for her.
You have no use for her at all, do you?
I don't really.
Okay.
I really don't. I mean, I like the fact that she sort of seems to kind of excite something in Picard, except I just don't think she's right for him. I know lots of people do.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I will say that when it comes to Picard, she's like when, you think, well, I know what I'll do. I'll just download Tinder again. And then 5 swipes later and a couple of instant messages, you're like, and now I remember why I deleted this app.
All right.
So that's Vash for Picard. He's like, oh, this will be exciting. And then a couple minutes later, it's like, wow, now I remember why I stopped doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of,
Yeah.
So I miss Vash.
Right. Okay.
The
Fair
problem
enough.
that I'm having is I don't know how to choose between the other two. I think honestly, probably, and this is the problem because we changed the parameters a bit. So like, can we go to the Fountain of Youth planet, or does she come onto the Enterprise with us, or whatever? Mm-hmm. Right at that point, I think I probably that's the problem. I don't know how to, because if it's on the Fountain of Youth planet, then I think I marry Anij because that would be fun. You could always leave and you could come back and all that stuff, right? If it's going to be on the Enterprise or going to be someplace besides on that planet, marry Nella Daren and kiss Anij, because as you pointed out, she's got a few years of experience. Probably she's had a little bit of fun somewhere along the way, which would make the kissing kind of great. And Nella Daren is the woman for Picard. She just is. And so in this situation, I'm assuming that I would have, that I could learn to play the penny whistle.
Thank you for listening.